We're just chit-chatting here a little bit. Welcome back to Bay Sunday. Imagine feeling no tension or stress from the environment around you. Both time and outside noises meaningless. Well, our next guest can relate to that in a big way, and he's overcome some significant life challenges in his book. He explains them all. Am I Still Autistic? It chronicles the life of a low-functioning, slightly mentally retarded young man as he became CEO of a multi-million-dollar national corporation, and he joins us now. It's author John Hall. John, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you on board. Well, tell us. We talked about it off camera, but there's no cure for autism.
There is not.
And how did you manage to get over the hump and have it a part of your life, but be able to be so successful?
Well, I think for starters, it was my mother. My mother pushed me. She was persistent. She was determined to make sure that I came out of whatever was going on with me. It was also the dedication of a lot of therapists. I was working with Dr. Lovas, who was really the pioneer of modern autism treatment, and it was just a real determination to do more and do better.
Now, your oldest son, you've got two kids, a boy
Yes.
and a girl, and JR is named after yourself.
Yes.
Is 5 years old, and he was diagnosed as autistic very young, a little over a year.
He was.
Now, what did that do? What happened to you when you found out your son was autistic? Because you knew what you went through.
I did, and I really hadn't come to grips at that point with the fact that I had been autistic. It was something I really denied. It was something I really didn't talk to people about. It was devastating. I was in the neurological office, and I just broke down and wept like I never did before. It was absolutely devastating, and it took me a few years to really accept it and really embrace who he was and really be able to help him.
But, I mean, you're the benchmark, you're the mentor, you've gone through it, and look what you've done. So you had to have a feeling, and what you told me off camera, I guess JR is not quite as autistic as you were, right? At that age?
At that age. He's not had the same amount of progress, but he's getting there. You know, and you're right. I had been through this, and that should have been enough to motivate me and make me feel more comfortable, but it's really hard to explain. And the reason I wrote this book is I want to give hope to parents, because if I was as hopeless as I was, having gone through what I went through successfully, just imagine what a lot of other parents and families are going through.
And how long did it take to write? And was it good therapy for you to sit down and put pen to paper or be on your laptop, so to speak?
It was absolutely cathartic. It really allowed me to accept where I'd come from, to embrace it, to really come out about it, and it's really expanded the relationship I have with my son.
That's great. We talked about the therapy. Now, if you're looking for a kind of a book on symptoms and what to do, this is not your book. This is kind of, it puts a face to autism. It's your story, and that's what you wanted to do, right?
That's absolutely right. It deals with autism from two unique perspectives. First of all, from someone who's been through it and what that's like and what it's like to overcome it, and a parent of a child who is going through it.
Well, can you imagine your life without autism? You wouldn't be the man you are today unless you had to overcome some of this, I would imagine.
No, it's a part of my life. I wouldn't have changed a thing. It's been very hard, as people read in my book. But, you know, I love my life, and I love what I've become. And
what has the book, what's been the response? Just from friends, family, from the public out there?
It's been amazing. The support has been great, and this is something I never talked about. So it was really hard to put this out there, and I've just been amazed with the love and the support that I've received from people.
Do you get emails from people that read the book that were where you were when you found, oh my goodness, my son's autistic, yeah, and then they read your book and they see some hope, perhaps, or at least they know they're not the only one in the boat, so to speak?
Absolutely, and that hope is so important, because the hope that a parent has and what that parent is able to do for their child will help with that outcome, will help with that child's outcome.
Sure. Let's talk about JR. How is he dealing? Does he know Dad wrote this book about him?
No, not quite yet. He's still having difficulties really communicating, but we're getting there. And I really look forward to being able to share this with him someday.
Well, share with our viewers, what are they doing right now to, is there treatment for autism? Is there anything being done to, you know, find a cure, so to speak?
Well, there is no cure, and there's a lot to be learned about autism. There's a lot of research going on. The best thing that parents really can do is get their kids diagnosed and get their kids into early intervention. The earlier you start dealing with this, the better outcome there is for your child. But autistic children, whether they are low on the spectrum or high on the spectrum, can do things. They can be successful, and that's another message that I really convey in this book.
What was your biggest hurdle growing up? with autism? In grade school, in high school, in college? You've got a master's. You're working on a doctorate, too, are you not?
Yes.
What's that in?
Education.
Okay. So,
biggest
apropos.
hurdle was really making friends and being accepted.
Yeah.
And it was a very difficult childhood, as I talk about in my book.
And your parents mainstreamed you. They said, you know what, John, you're gonna get in with this classroom in the first grade and just go and sink or swim.
They did, and that's what we're going to do with our son as well. You need the support, but thank goodness they did it, because I wouldn't be where I am today.
And the idea for the book, was it something you were thinking about for years, or did it just come to you one day and say, you know, I've been on this journey, I want to share it with someone?
Well, my mom passed away, and that was really the impetus for me to start writing and really coming to grips with this. I really hadn't intended on sharing it with anyone, but then I realized what a help this could be for people and an inspiration.
How much better do you feel now with your CEO of a company? Is it one of the first things that comes out in a conversation? You know, I'm autistic, I've done this, I've done that. Are you? I guess you're proud of who you are, right?
I am proud of who I am. I've been a CEO now for almost 14 years, and I just wrote this book. So my clients are just learning this about me, and they're very surprised. They had no idea.
So you've never really told, tell them what kind of business are you in?
I run a contact center management company.
Yeah. That's great. All right, well, John, we wish you all the best with the book.
Thank you so much.
And to your son, JR, we wish him the best, too.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Appreciate
joining
it.
us. And if you'd like to purchase Am I Still Autistic online, all you got to do is amistillautistic.com. That's where it is. And all the major book buying sites, they'll have it as well. Up next, an author with the answer to motivating greatness. It's all good stuff, and it's coming up, so stay right there.